Hello, everyone. Ed Molesky here. We're going to talk about the financial markets, basically what happened this week. I think a big story that's developing and it's continuing to develop is the sort of dichotomy between the actual stock market, the prices are near to where we were last October for sure. And yet, you've got they put out a number yesterday that 330,000 people flew. Well, at the worst day, I think the worst day there was 80,000 people flying. So we go from 80,000 to 340. You say that's a big increase. Year over year, we're still down 88%. Like 2.2 million people a day were traveling a year ago. And then you look at unemployment rates. I think 43 states have record unemployment, led by Nevada, which is, I think, around 26%, and also Michigan and one other one. They're around 22, 23%. So you've got this dichotomy, what's going on in the real world versus the stock market. The NASDAQ is only off 5% from its all-time high. I believe the S&P is 13, 14%. The Dow is maybe 16, 17%. It doesn't make any sense. And when we listen to people that are knowledgeable, experts, specialists, they come on the big news channels, and that's what they say. They say, the first question is, well, how do you connect where the market is versus where the economy is? And a lot of it is about the Fed not screwing around, central banks everywhere. They're printed a lot of money. Now, the Fed's balance sheet is now getting close to 7 trillion. And some people are saying by the end of the year, we're looking 11, 12, 13 trillion. They're printing money. The more they print, theoretically, the least value each dollar is going forward. It's a fascinating situation to be in. I don't know how it's all going to play out. The markets, like the financial markets, seem to be hitting a bit of a wall, but I can see them moving sideways. They've hit this Fibonacci number of 61.8. They talk about that. We really haven't gone anywhere in the last month to speak of. We'll show some charts later to show what I'm talking about. It's a fascinating thing. The other thing that I want to bring up is that it's certainly where I'm based out of here in Ontario, cases seem to be moving up, and Quebec seems to be moving up. India, some crazy numbers are coming out of India. I'm hopeful. That this thing doesn't develop into a serious second wave. Interest rates very low. In the 10-year rates in the 6 is 0.6 something. 2-year rate is under 0.2. There's a pretty good spread in the difference between the 2 and the 10. And the Fed came out this year and issued this $20 billion of 20-year bonds, which they haven't done in a long time. It's mind-boggling how, with all this money sloshing around, I guess there's money for a lot of things. So kind of a quieter week this week in terms of what I saw. here we have the S&P 500, and it's a 3-month chart. And as time's moving on, okay, the all-time high is in here somewhere, going back. It's longer than 3 months now. There's the bottom, and then we've moved up sharply. You can see that really from the middle of April to the middle of May, which is roughly 1 month, I'd say that's more of what's happening. So we seem to be hitting a wall. In the last, I would say, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 trading days, we've been hitting that wall right in here. I've been looking at what a lot of other people are saying, and this coincides with some Fibonacci number, 61.8. A lot of people don't think we're going to break through, but if we break through, the comments are that we're likely to test the old highs, which I think is amazing. But with the amount of money that's being printed, anything can happen. So what am I saying? I'm saying markets are moving. The big markets are moving sideways a bit. Okay, now let's carry on here. I want to show you some of the smaller companies based on my work experience over 40 years. I've spent a lot of time in the micro cap markets in Canada, and they've been in the toilet for quite a while. So I'm going to put up a few names here that I've been following. Paso Fino Gold. So here's a junior mining company, and this thing was down here, 4 to 5 cents back in March. Okay, right around the time they start talking about coronavirus. But look at what's going on here. They did come out with a pretty serious announcement. They said they're going to raise $6 million. That money is supposed to close any day. So $6 million going into down here. This thing the whole company was valued at about $1 million. Now it's at 18.5, 19. But look at this move. I mean, you're a guy, you're out there now. It's been rolled back. And if you could have accumulated yourself a couple 100,000 shares and to sell them today and made 4 times your money. Big potential returns. I mean, you have to be a student of the market to find these things, but you can sort of look at the biggest movers on any given day. They list them for any exchange, easy to get. And, just start following. We'll take a look at a name that has something to do with the COVID phenomena, and it's called Revive Therapeutic. Here's 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents. Go across. All of a sudden, we're into March, the COVID thing. We get some big moves. Today it hits 35 cents. And this is monster volume. If you've got, it's not like you can't get in and out of this. That there's things going on. I think there's a couple 100 million shares here, or somewhere around that. So at 30 cents, we're looking at, it may not be, I think the market cap around here is about 45 million. And anyway, this is if you own this stock in here and you went away on holidays and you came back today, you're up 6-7 times your money. There's a big one in the US today called Splunk, and it has to do with the cloud. And they're getting involved in all these, esoteric applications. But look at this. This is over a year or so. That's down to the March, double bottomed, and then look at this, right back. I mean, I find this mind-boggling to think that stocks can give up so much and then put on so much in light of the fact that, you've got several states well over 20% unemployment. The stock of the week we'll show the chart is got to be Aurora Cannabis, not a cloud stock, not Amazon. This stock in the last 6 days has tripled in value. It was $7.50, $8, 8 trading days ago, and it's now $22. Now, remember, it was rolled back quite seriously, but even at $22 and the number of shares that are currently exist, this company, Aurora Cannabis, they announced a couple of things, still has market value, not making money, still has a market value of over $2 billion. This stock a few days ago hit $8, $7. In a few days, this thing has gone from $8 to $24. Now, they made an announcement that they're going to buy this big company in the US. That's a triple. If this stock can triple from a market cap of 800 million to 2.3 billion, that is a mind-boggling move. These numbers can't hold up because they're markets are way overvalued, in my estimation. Anyway, that's it for this week. We'll talk to you next week.